What is up, my NFL fans? And yeah, if you could look at the title of this video and you know my history as a Seahawks fan, you might be surprised as to why I sound so cheery, and that is because I'm doing this February 3rd, Tuesday. I've had 2 days to grieve, well, a day and a half, I guess, since the infamous Super Bowl 49 in which the New England Patriots beat the Seattle Seahawks 28-24, just like EA Sports simulated, by the way, including the Julian Edelman final touchdown. So props to EA. I get no props because you remember my prediction, 24-21 Seahawks. I was wrong. Okay, I'm done. I'm done trying to sound happy because, again, as you guys know, I'm a Seahawks fan. And some of you conspiracy theorists out there that say I'm just a bandwagoner, because there's been a couple. When they started off 2-2, I remember a comment saying, oh boy, who are you going to cheer for now? Nah. It's not like that with me. Unfortunately, I'm a Seahawks fan, and I've been left in the aftermath of what was Super Bowl 49 with trying to figure out what the heck happened. So, as you see, the title of this video should read something like analysis and reaction, or reaction and analysis. And basically, my reaction, I'm devastated, man. The Seahawks had that game. They had it. But Tom Brady, Bill Belichick, the greatness of the Patriots just overtook it. So that's pretty much my reaction. So let me get into the analysis. And I don't know what's going to be playing. I think I might just record me playing a Play Now game or something like that. I'm not looking at anything right now. It's just me talking off the top of my head. And I guess I'll just kind of run down my thoughts about the whole Super Bowl. First things first, halftime show, superb. Yeah, that's right. I was hyped for Katy Perry, and she did a great job. But sure, that's not what you guys want to hear about. So yeah, Super Bowl first half, it was all Patriots. I wasn't too surprised at what happened in the first half because the Seahawks typically take a while to get going, especially their offense, and that's what happened. I mean, Tom Brady was able to move the ball down the field very well, using those short yardage plays. Man, the short yardage plays were making me mad, but all those little zone-busting plays to Edelman and Amendola and Shane Vereen out of the backfield, they were killer. And Jeremy Lane made a great play early on in the game. Did you guys see his injury, though? Man, that sucked. He broke his arm like right in half. It was gross. Don't look it up if you're squeamish about that kind of stuff. But he made a nice play. The Patriots got up to the lead. The Seahawks were able to fight back. It was really good. I love seeing Marshawn Lynch get the TD. And what a game by Chris Matthews. And I'm assuming most of you guys didn't know who Chris Matthews was, because I barely did. The only reason I did know him is because he played in the Canadian Football League. Yes, I am Canadian, so I had heard of him before playing in the CFL, but he came up huge. Secret weapon for the Seahawks there on the drive. They finally got things going. And then what a gutsy call by Pete Carroll to go for it at the end of the half, to go for the touchdown, that is, because they could have settled for a field goal. Instead, they went for the tie, and they did end up tying it. A great play to Chris Matthews, the big wide receiver. And you know what? Might as well just segue right into what I want to talk about. A gutsy play by Pete Carroll. And if you guys know football, you know that gutsy plays win games more times than not. They decide games. Remember in the NFC Championship game, what was the play that turned the tide for the Seahawks over the Packers? It was the fake field goal throw by John Ryan. That's a gutsy play. Excuse me. What turned the tide in the Super Bowl? A gutsy play to go for it and tie the game going into half. So, you know what? I respect the heck out of Pete Carroll. And all this is me leading up to talking about that final drive. Yes, I know that's what everybody wants to talk about. All the memes about Marshawn Lynch not getting the ball, all this. Well, I'm here to break it down for you guys. So basically, where do I even start? I don't want to discount the greatness of Tom Brady. I'll just say that now. He led 2 drives against one of the all-time greatest, if not the all-time greatest defense, and scored on them. The Seahawks are usually money in the fourth quarter, defense and offense, but they got outscored 14-0. That's why they lost. That's the reason they lost. And, like, the reason is they couldn't move the ball on offense in the fourth quarter. Too many 3-and-outs, and they were able to give Tom Brady the ball, and he was able to orchestrate a couple, like, 5 or 6 minute drives. If they would have scored even 1 touchdown or 1 field goal, Tom would have had to start getting out of their game plan, would have had to start taking some chances, and that could have changed the tide of the game. But instead, they let him walk down twice in a row, score, and to go down by 4 points. But man, that last drive for the Seahawks. I've told you guys before, I'm a huge Russell Wilson fan, and I still am. I think he's underrated because look at what he did. I can't remember how much time they had left. What was it, a minute and a half? But he went first to Marshawn Lynch, a great play call, got them up the field. They went a couple more plays, and then the Jermaine Kearse catch. I mean, I'm not gonna lie and say that, or try and front and say that Russell made a great play. That was all Kearse. He came down with it. I'm not a big Kearse fan because I don't think he's very good. But what a miraculous catch. Super lucky. And it put the Seahawks right there on the 10-yard line. All right, so Russell and the Seahawks orchestrating a great drive. Then, of course, they handed off to Marshall. Well, actually, I lied. The first thing I wanted to say was, after the Kearse catch, it took them forever to get up to the line. So they had to burn a timeout. That was huge. They burned their second timeout, leaving them with one. Oh, wait. No, that's a lie. Oh, wait. No, it's not a lie. It's not a lie. They burned that timeout. If I get some of the seconds wrong when I'm breaking this down, I apologize. But they used that second timeout, went back up to the line, gave it to Marshawn, who came within a yard of the Super Bowl. He stretched out. He couldn't quite get the touchdown. And looking back on that, if only he would have scored on that first run. But you know what? He didn't. It brought him down to second down on the 1-yard line. And this is where if you're looking for analysis on the Super Bowl, this is where it all happened. And this is what I'm going to talk about. From the 1-yard line, second down, the clock's ticking. Now, you Patriots fans, what were you thinking at this point? I didn't know what Bill Belichick was doing. I don't know why he didn't stop the clock. Because if the Seahawks would have scored, Tom Brady would have had like 10 or 15 to 20 seconds. There's no way you get into field goal position in that time. So I don't know why Bill Belichick didn't stop the clock. But either way, it worked out for them, so that doesn't matter. But the clock keeps ticking, right down to 22 seconds. And the Seahawks line up in a shotgun formation with Lynch off to the left of Russell Wilson. And, of course, we all know what happens. Russell throws a slant play, a little pick play run by the wide receiver, so try and get Lockett open over the middle for a touchdown, and it's picked off by Malcolm Butler. Now, of course, in the immediate aftermath, everybody and their grandmother, all 119 or however many people were watching the game, all said the same thing. Why did Marshawn Lynch not get that ball? And all these NFL players are tweeting left and right. That's the worst call in football history. In history. And I'm going to preface my comments by saying this. If they would have given the ball to Marshawn Lynch on that play, Seahawks are champions. I have no doubt about it. I have no doubt about it. But I think people are being a little bit ignorant. Because it's not the worst call in NFL history. You know why? Because of clock management. So basically, you've got second down, 22 seconds left. If you run that play and Marshawn Lynch gets the ball and he doesn't get into the end zone, we're playing hypothetical, what happens? The clock keeps running, so you have to call a timeout. So the Seahawks would have burned their final timeout with probably 16 or 17 seconds left. So then you got third down with no timeouts. You would have to throw in the ball. Because if you're on third down with 16 seconds left, you can't afford to run the ball to Marshawn Lynch once more and have him get stopped. Because if that happens and there's a pileup, you might not get a fourth down playoff. So in that scenario, you'd only get 2 plays off. That is why the Seahawks went to the air. Their game plan was to either throw a touchdown or an incomplete pass on second down. And if that would have happened, they would have been left. And if an incomplete pass would have happened, they would have had 2 more downs and a timeout. So they could have run once to Lynch, timeout, run again. Or run once and then throw it. You see what I'm saying? So the decision to throw the ball was in an effort to make sure that they were able to utilize all 4 downs. Because you don't want to give up a down in case you can't get it off. You don't want to lose that way. Alright? So that's why they did it. Was it the worst play call in NFL history? I don't think so. Because the way they did it is they were managing their time. If they would have run it to Marshawn on second down and he didn't get it and they had to burn a timeout, they most likely would have thrown on third down, hoping for either a TD or an incompletion. So for that matter, do I think it was a bad call? Yes, I do. Okay, I do. I think they should have run it to Marshawn Lynch. I have no doubt he would have scored. With the Super Bowl on the line, of course. But honestly, if that pass is incomplete instead of picked off by Malcolm Butler, we're not having this discussion. We're having the discussion of good clock management by the Seahawks. And you know what? It hurts. It hurts me saying this right now because I'm defending the team that stole my happiness. They stole Seahawks fans' happiness by not giving the ball to Marshawn Lynch. But in theory, it kind of made sense. Alright, so that's what I'm going to say. Now, I don't want the first comment to be, man, you're an idiot. Why would you not give the ball to Marshawn? Because I agree. I agree. If you're going to lose the Super Bowl, I would lose it by having Marshawn Lynch run the ball twice from 1 yard out and get stopped. If that's what happens, that's what happens. I think you have to give it to your best player in that situation. But all I wanted to say was, you know what? They were trying to manage the clock, and that's the play they chose. And honestly, I have more of a problem with the play call. If you know you're going to throw the ball like the Seahawks knew, you don't throw it over the middle to your 4th string wide receiver in traffic. That's just something you don't do. They should have thrown the ball to the corner of the end zone or to the sideline where it's either going to be out of bounds or it's going to be a touchdown. To me, the choice of throwing plays, the choice of pass play was the biggest mistake by that team or by the Seahawks. And you know what? That's just what happened. I thought about it for about 40 hours straight, and I've kind of come to grips with the fact that they lost. You know what? Teams lose. The Seahawks still did better than most defending champions do, and they did it. They lost against a great team, and it was a great game. I don't think anybody was disappointed in the theatrics of the game. I just wish they would have given it to Marshawn, man, but you know what? My goal in this video was to analyze the play, and I hope you guys can take something from that and think, you know what? I'm right. Like, they did it to manage the clock. And it was a poor choice of plays, and it just didn't work out. But if it's an incomplete pass, I'm telling you, we aren't talking about this because they give the ball to Marshawn on the next play anyways, and he runs it in, or on 4th down. But unfortunately, that didn't happen. I mean, basically, I can spend all day analyzing that one play, and that's the turning point of the Super Bowl. I mean, I think I tweeted, I can't remember if I tweeted it, but I was thinking about it, and I tweeted, the Pats didn't win that game, the Seahawks lost it. And as great as Tom Brady was, as well as the Patriots played for 60 minutes, I still believe the Seattle Seahawks lost that Super Bowl on the final play. But I don't want to sound so biased here because that was an unreal play by Malcolm Butler. If you guys saw the picture of when Russell Wilson dropped back, it looked like Lockett was open. I'm pretty sure everybody watching this video would have thrown that ball to Ricardo Lockett. But man, what a play made by Malcolm Butler. And props to you Pats fans, man. You guys get to taste victory again, and it is sure sweet. My Seahawks fans, you know, I'm feeling how you're feeling. I'm kind of glad. The one thing that is good about them losing is it finally probably will get rid of a lot of the bandwagoners. And honestly, as long as the Seahawks stay together as a team, mentally, I think they'll be right back here next year. There's no reason to think that they won't be. But they need help at the wide receiver spot. They need a receiving option, whether it be a tight end or a wide receiver. And the Patriots, man, they're just a bunch of big-time players. I almost would have liked to see Edelman get the Super Bowl MVP because he was huge for the Seahawks. Or for the Patriots, rather, not for the Seahawks. But hey, Tom also played great. And, man, I'm getting all depressed talking about this again. If only they would have run. If only. But you know what? It makes sense why they decided to pass. It was just a stupid play. It was just a stupid play. And actually, the final thing I wanted to say was I love Russell Wilson and Pete Carroll because Pete Carroll said, you know what? This was my bad. I okayed the play. I wanted to throw. We had a plan in place, but it was the wrong play and it was my fault. That's what Pete Carroll said. And Russell Wilson said, you know what? I just threw a game-winning interception or a game-losing interception. This is on me. I'll take the blame for the loss. They owned up to it. Offensive coordinator Darrell Bevel, do you guys hear his comments? He said, oh, Ricardo Lockett should have fought harder for the ball. No, you know what? You own up to the mistake. That's how I feel. I don't think Pete Carroll should be taking all the heat for it. I mean, maybe he should a little bit, but he owned up to his mistake. So did Russell Wilson. Darrell Bevel didn't. I think that's pretty cheesy if you ask me. But yeah, I mean, that's my analysis of the game, guys. It was great. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And, I don't know. I'm already missing football. I'm already missing football. But right after this video, we'll have a Browns franchise video up. Buster Ingles III will be making a return shortly. It was just too stressful of a weekend, boys, with the Super Bowl going on, with a couple papers I had to do. But we'll get back into a rhythm here. And I hope if you're deprived of football over the next few weeks, you stay tuned to my channel. And I think that's all about all I got to say. As always, though, I'd love to see your guys' comments. Please get at me in the comment section. I'll be responding to every comment I can. As long as you're linked to Google Plus or whatever it is, I can respond to you. And let's talk about the Super Bowl, man. It was a great game. I'm embarrassed as a Seahawks fan that we lost that way, but hey, what can you do, right? What can you do? And, this video's gone pretty long, but that's all I gotta say. I'm done. I'm done my diatribe. I'm done my monologue. Let's hear from you guys now. And as always, don't forget to like and subscribe if you're new, if you like what you're hearing from me. And as always, have a good one. Peace.